Hey guys, it's me, Carly, coming at you with another video. And I want to talk about problematic fandoms and their stances on really toxic characters and ship wars. I was really triggered to do this video because 3 reasons. 1, I saw a guy's video saying, this is his 2 videos defending Damon. Is Damon a good or bad person? Just the titles alone, made me hit. And Damon did not rape Caroline, which also made me sorry. I hate Damon so much, and he's the reason I couldn't make it past 10 episodes of Vampire Diaries, because he is just so fucking nauseating. And I was also triggered by this because the new pictures of the new Killer Frost costume were released, and somebody said it was ugly and it was getting worse. And when we said that, it was, oh, you just like to trash Danielle Panabaker and you hate Caitlyn for no reason, even though there are plenty of reasons to trash Danielle Panabaker and Caitlyn Snow, and it ain't got shit to do with costumes. Okay? And there's plenty of reasons to trash Caitlyn, and it don't got shit to do with ship wars. But I bring this up because if you say anything remotely negative or point out how problematic a character is, or how problematic a person is, people will look past that and will be like, oh, well, you're just making shit up in your head. You just hate to hate because you just are such a hater. And I'm like, ugh. Okay. I would just like to say, you can like a problematic character, okay? You are allowed to like a terrible character. You are entitled to that opinion. But defending their every move and every problematic thing they do, and making excuses for them just because you like that said character, that is what I have an issue with. Like, for example, I like Barry Allen. I like Barry, but I was still able to point out I can still point out the way he's problematic in some areas, like he's a hypocrite, and they kind of write him racist towards his family because he yells at Iris because apparently she was trying to sabotage his happiness, even though Linda asked him, do you know why Barry's acting this way? Can I get some advice? And all Iris did was, look, he probably just needs time because he had feelings for someone and the feelings weren't reciprocated, which is the honest truth at the time. And yet, somehow Iris is seen as a villain for that, even though Linda asked her advice. And yet, no one says jack shit about Barry trying to be homewrecker to Westhon all of season 1. No one says anything about that. And no one says anything about the fact how Barry also was the fact that Barry was more understanding towards a woman who tried to kill the love of his life and worked with another woman who almost sold Barry into marriage slavery, more than the fact that he was understanding of his own daughter and ran her ass back to the future. Does that not show bias towards white characters? And then he yelled at Wally for hallucinating Savitar, even though it was once again, it was Caitlyn's fault. But he can trust Caitlyn more than he trusts Wally or Nora. Yes, Nora lied to him, and yes, Nora was bad. But Nora's a shitty character. But you're allowed to like a character, and you can still point out problematic behavior, and you can like a celebrity, and you're allowed to point out their problematic behavior. Pointing out problematic behavior does not equivocate to hate, okay? Let me calm down, because I know I'm going to get really ranty in this video. For example, I know I move around a lot in this video, so sorry. So So, anyways, back to the whole toxic characters. And the characters I find to be toxic are Damon Salvatore, duh, Alison De Laurentiis, Caitlin Snow, and Regina Mills. So, Damon Salvatore. I mean, like, the mental gymnastics his fandom goes through to defend his terrible actions, like, it hurts my body and it gives me a headache. Like, first, people defend Damon for snapping Jeremy's neck because Elena's like, it's Stefan. It's always gonna be Stefan. Shh, be quiet. It's always gonna be Stefan. And it's like, Elena's a human being. She has her own feelings. And Damon showed up drunk at her house, trying to have sex with her. And she kept saying no, and he kept making advances towards her. And when he didn't get what he wanted, he killed Jeremy by snapping his neck in front of her as punishment for not having sex with him. Like, and that's not the behavior, that's completely normal behavior from a person, not. And then people will blame it on, oh, well, he's a vampire, that's why he does bad things. It's like, well, Stefan's a vampire, and he doesn't intentionally go around hurting people just to hurt people. Stefan has an addiction. And Damon's unable to shitbag to Stefan, because he knows that Stefan suffers from being the river. He knows that Stefan doesn't want to kill people. But yet, he gets Stefan to relapse into killing people, because Stefan did horrible things as the Ripper. And shut up. Stefan did horrible things as the Ripper. But Stefan wasn't necessarily a bad person. I mean, yeah, he did indefensible things, but he was trying to control himself. And it was bad. And then Damon goes around and kills people when he doesn't get what he wants, and he spreads his man pain everywhere because he's a huge fucking man baby. And, yeah, I can't stand it. Oh, yeah, he kills Stefan's friend Lexi on Stefan's birthday just to be a shitface. Let's see. Kills a black pregnant woman. Rapes several women, like he raped Caroline. And don't you dare tell me he didn't rape Caroline, because, like, first time, maybe it was consensual. Second time, he had to compel her not to be afraid of him, even though she wakes up with a giant fucking bite mark on her neck. And she's throwing a lamp at him and going like, get away from me! Stay away from me! And it's like, once he compels her not to be afraid of him, they kiss and have sex, which is having sex under false pretenses. Just because you add compulsion to it, just because you add magic to it, doesn't mean it's not rape. He threatened physical harm on Elena. And, like, force-fed her his blood and raped Elena too. And, like, she's like, no. She's like, Damon, no. Damon, no. Damon, no. And he still didn't take no for an answer. He, let's see, has called her stupid. When she tried to run and save Stefan, she's like, let me go, let me go, let me go. And he was holding on to her, and she was, like, thrashing to get away from him. And he wouldn't let her go. Yeah, because that's signs of a good person. I'm being because that's signs of a good person. Not. Like, and Damon Salvatore and Bonnie's shitty treatment is the reason I couldn't get past 10 episodes of Vampire Diaries. And if you like the show, that's fine. If you like Delana, fine. But Delana has no chemistry. And people say we hate Selena because we're just jealous Selena shippers. Like, I'm a Selena shipper because Paul and Nina have great chemistry. But Nina and Ian, they have horrible chemistry. Like, they have really bad chemistry. And their sex scenes are so robotic to the point where it looks like a robot is trying to penetrate a brick wall. And because we don't like Selena, it equivocates us to being haters and we're petty. It's like, no, we don't like Selena because he killed her brother, kills people she cares about because he doesn't get what he wants. And it's like, Elena is described to be this compassionate. We're supposed to believe Elena to be this compassionate person. But how can you be a compassionate person when you victim blame your best friend for her trauma? You get with her rapist and you get with the guy who killed your brother. Like, as a kind, compassionate person would not want to be with someone like Damon. Just that, ugh. Sorry, I just need to pull it back because I get really, my voice starts to get a little sore from these rants, but it's okay. Now on to Caitlin Snow / Danielle Panabaker. A few months back, I made a video stating my issues with Danielle Panabaker and why I personally don't like her because she is shady to Candice Patton. She is terrible. Like, she's a shady bitch to Candice. Will not stay in her place and propped up a racist fan base. And when I brought it up, I was a petty Candice Patton fan. I will be petty for Candice Patton. I will defend Candice Patton to the day I die. Till the day I die. Okay? And I was also petty. I wasn't petty. I was just pointing out her problematic behavior. And why she is problematic. And, like, let's see. Did a photo shoot where she called herself the leading female. Constantly discredits other black women. Or other women for their contributions. Constantly discredits Candice. Gasses up a racist fan base that has harassed Candice for 5 years. Passes off sexual assault as a cute Snowberry moment. If you want more details, you can just go to my issues dragging me dragging Danielle Panabaker video. I think that's the title. I'll try to remember to leave a link down below to it. But when I pointed out I don't like her, I get called a hater. I'm jealous. It's like, no, you're allowed to not like someone. I'm allowed to dislike her and still be pro-women. Like, but how come it's okay for people to bash a black woman? Well, it's not, but it's like, it seems okay for people to bash black women and still uplift other white women who are problematic as hell, and they're considered feminists, but I'm not because I point out how problematic a white woman is. I don't get it. It's like, you are allowed to like somebody and still point out their problematic behavior. Now for Caitlin Snow, for the record, I dislike Caitlin Snow and Danielle Panabaker at the same time, but I dislike them for different reasons. Caitlin Snow has just always been a flat character. And the only time she's ever gotten a storyline was when it revolved around white men or being a love interest to the new white male who came into Star Labs. Like, literally, those are the only consistent things about her. And then I was excited for her to be Killer Frost on Earth 1 because we met Earth 2 Killer Frost. But, like, you were allowed... I was fine with her being a villain, and I could have liked her as a badass villain. However, I really started to dislike her character is when she tried to help have Iris killed, terrorized the West Allen family, went away, and then teamed up with a human trafficker to try and get rid of her powers that she needed to use as muscle, and then mutilated people. And then I really started to dislike her when they kept retconning her and kept absolving her from her wrongdoings. And her fandom would absolve her from her wrongdoings. Like, I'm not cool with that. You can dislike a character and still call out problematic behavior. I just can't stand Caitlyn anymore because, one, she's played by a mediocre actress. Two, Caitlyn is a fucking slave trader. And she's somehow still friends with Barry. Like, Barry still wants to be friends with her. Like, why would you want to be... You have a white man growing up in a black family. She terrorized half the people of color on the show. Half the brown characters. And, like, almost killed 3 brown women. But yet, you want her to be friends? Like, no. Dude, she has racist tendencies. And was an elitist classist snob towards Jax, all because he didn't wear a white coat. And she's never held accountable for anything bad she's done. So, I just don't get it. It's just annoying. It's annoying to see it. I'm tired of people defending her. And it's awful. Now on to Alison De Laurentiis, who is problematic. And her fans are problematic. Alison De Laurentiis blinded a girl. She constantly queer-baited Emily. Gaslit the girls. As in, made them believe they were crazy. Lied to the police about being kidnapped. Bullied so many people. And people are just supposed to be like, welcome back with open arms. Oh my gosh, don't be so mean to Alison. And it's like, I feel like when I call out Alison's shitty behavior, like, I feel like I am totally Paige. Like, Paige is... pretty much all of us who hate Alison. Like, you call out her problematic behavior, and Paige has done it over and over again, and Paige is the only one who sees through her bullshit. Sorry, I play with my hair a lot. And when we call out Alison on her shit, suddenly it's us hating, and then they'll try to bring up, but Paige tried to drown Emily. Like, that was a one-time thing. Yes, Paige started out as a bitchy, problematic character. Yes, it was wrong of her to be mean to Emily, but at least Paige went out of her way to apologize and prove she was a better person than... tried to be a better person and was not isolating Emily from her friends and family, unlike Alison, who constantly was isolating Emily. And Paige was a misunderstood character. Like, does that make her shitty behavior okay? No. See, I can like Paige and call out her shitty behavior. I love Paige. Paige is my favorite character on Pretty Little Liars. Like, Mona and Paige, like, yes, Mona's a very problematic, complex character, but I'm allowed to like the characters and still point out ways they are problematic. But Alison De Laurentiis' fandom will go above and beyond to point out, oh, she's a sweet, precious angel, and because some tragedies, she went through some tragedies of her own, and suffered like other people, even though she caused other people to suffer. She's more sympathetic. I'm like, no! Just because a terrible character goes through their own tragedies and they are sympathetic doesn't negate the shitty things they've done. Like, and it's just these fandoms will defend these toxic characters. For example, like Regina's fandom will defend her to no end. And it's like, Regina's a rapist. She's a fucking serial killer. And she's killed, like, children. She's killed children. She's an attempted kidnapper. And she's terribly a problematic character. And it's like, you are allowed to like Regina, but come on. You can't say she isn't a problematic character. And my issue with it is, like, you bring up any of these and it's like, oh, you're a dumb Paley shipper. Oh, you're a dumb Captain Swan shipper. It's like, you don't have to like, Shipwars ain't got shit to do with it. Yet, they still did fucked up things to people. Still committed heinous crimes, and when you point it out, I just get sick of when you point out how problematic a character is it's reduced to hate and ship wars. Like I said, if your child is misbehaving, I don't know if I said this in this video because it's like my third time recording it, but if your child is misbehaving and you give them a timeout or you give them some form of consequences, does that mean you hate your child? No, it doesn't. It means you love them enough to point out, like, this is not the way to behave. Like, ugh. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you guys think, and keep your comments respectful and have a good one.